Good morning, Niner fans. How are we feeling? Happy Sunday. It's Sunday in the off season. We're actually talking about some San Francisco 49ers. Yes, there's been a lot of drama building up over the last few days, and this morning it hit a zenith, if you will, with Brandon Aiyuk rumors kind of going up and crazy all over the place. It started last night. There's a lot of rumors. People were posting some things. Benjamin Albright, a couple other Niner pages were posting some news. Or there's some Brandon Ayuk trade rumors. The Steelers, the Bills, and this morning there was reports, there was rumors, reports. Remember, it's smoke season that said Brandon Ayuk has officially requested a trade, but not a big source. Nobody like Schefter, nobody like Rappaport, nobody like Mayoko, local beat writer. Nobody was saying that. So boom, just about 20 minutes ago, his agent um, shot those rumors down and refuted those rumors. This is first quote tweeted by Mike Garofalo, and then boom, a lot of other big time sports pages have been saying this. So this is what we know. We're going to talk about it. Talk about Brandon Ayuk because this drama is starting to get a little bit, escalated. Remember we said the other day, oh, I said this the other day. I said the moment he unfollows the 49ers, this is when the games begin. This is the fever pitch. Um, I mean, the 49ers have made it clear they want him. It doesn't mean that he's not going to get traded. Doesn't mean that they won't reach an agreement, but this is just all posturing. It's all, how off-season contracts work with the 49ers. And again, 49ers want to keep him. John Lynch has said this. So we'll talk about that. But at the end of the day, when Brandon Ayuk unfollowed the 49ers, that kind of set a chain of events. Remember this happened with Debo. We talked about that. And then there was reports after all that social media scrubbing. Boom, he requested a trade and this and that. It's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk. I said it the other day. I said, boom, we're going to hear reports of did he request a trade? Did he not? Now they're shooting down those rumors. Now, tomorrow, maybe he'll request a trade for sure. But we'll see. It's all part of the leverage. It's all part of how this game works in the offseason. So, um, yeah, my man JR says Ayuk's agent shut down the fake news quick. It was quick. I woke up, I've been up on my phone, just chilling early morning, trying to wake up. And I saw these reports. I saw these fake news reports. I saw like some guy made a whole YouTube video. Chase Senior, I think, made a whole video. Breaking news: Did Brandon Ayuk's been traded? Like this is the thing. It's not really breaking news if it's a rumor. If it's you can't go out there and say, "Oh, it's happening." It's true. Like this is what people are doing. They're creating these posts and they want engagement. They go on YouTube. They go on their Twitter. And then I open up my Instagram and I see all these sports pages like Catch the Blitz and Pick Six, and I follow all these people. I love all these sports pages, but they run with, oh my God, there's a rumor. It's happening. It's happening. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, Brandon Ayuk requested a trade. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? So now I'm looking on I'm looking on Twitter and everybody's going crazy, right? Um if it really looks like all these people are running with these reports, and then I go on Twitter and then literally about 5 minutes after I'm catching up with all these rumors, the agent basically chimed in and said, "Hey, man, we're not. It's not happening." Yeah. So that's it. The source himself cleared up the matter. It's the agent basically said, "Hey, look, guys, he didn't request a trade," and that's coming from the agent. That's what we need. It's not coming from, Joe Smith. It's not coming from Bob the Builder. It's not coming from Dora the Explorer. It's not coming from SpongeBob SquarePants. It's coming from Brandon Ayuk's agent. And that's what matters most. It's actual agent. He commented and he says, "Look, man, um, we got to clear this up. We can't be having all this fake news out there." And I love that the agent cleared it up very quickly. So, my man Peter Parker says, "Proof yet again that John and Kyle are clueless when it comes to contracts. The 49er way doesn't work. It works. It's just people got to be patient." My man Peter Parker, the Niners, they don't care about your timeline. They don't care about your grandmother's timeline. They don't care about your timeline that you want this contract to be done. They don't care about my timeline. They care about their timeline. They have their interests. They have their issues at hand. Like, listen, John Lynch yesterday was at Washington, University of Washington, the Huskies in Seattle, scouting players for the 49ers. How many people, share of hands, want the 49ers to draft an offensive lineman. They have one of the top offensive linemen that the 49ers could draft, right? Roger Rotengardner. He was there. They scouted him. They stayed after the pro day, and they're looking at him. They're not worried about Brandon Ayuk's contract right now. That'll get done. They need to figure out who they need to draft because the draft is in 12 days, guys. In 12 days, with 11 days now. So if you look at that, and the 49ers don't make you happy on the draft day, you're gonna be pissed about that. So the 49ers have to get that right. Brandon Ayuk's contract can wait, but all this stuff's gonna happen in between. It's literally is the same thing that happened with Debo Samuel. Copy paste to a T. So it doesn't to me. I'm like, okay. When I woke up and I saw these reports, fake news, like I was like, okay, I'm just waiting for someone to source this and say this is not true. This is not true. And it happened. Like within the next 30 minutes of me waking up and seeing those reports and then posting, the source, Mike Garofalo, that was the first person to retweet his agent, basically said, "Hey, look, guys, it didn't happen. It didn't happen." So my man Ian says fake news is becoming an industry. It's crazy. It's you don't know what to believe anymore. It's tough, and I mean I get it. If you're on social media and you're just cruising, and you sometimes see a report, you're gonna take it at surface value. You're gonna take it at face value. You're gonna look at it and say, "Oh, is this true? This guy has a check. Maybe he's right. Maybe this information's right." And then you want to report it because if you have a social media page, right? You want to be the first. You want to be the person to get the clicks. That's how it works. I understand. Um, I understand how it works because I run a social media page. So you want to be on top of things, you want to post things, and people love to like get those likes and the engagement because it's an adrenaline rush. Like I'll be honest with you, when I first started doing social media, you get all those likes, you're like, oh shit, man, it is an adrenaline rush. So I think a lot of people, they don't have a big standing and they're like, oh man, I can get these likes, I get these pages, and now you get paid in social media, right? You get paid on views, you get paid on engagement, people get paid on all this stuff. So I get it why people do it. It's nasty work, but it is what it is. So this was the original report. Okay, so a man named John Frascella, football. Okay, Legend Sports 7 is his Twitter. Legend Sports Twitter. Legend Sports 7 on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. So John Frascella, he tweeted this at 5:46 a.m. 5:46 a.m. Obviously, he tweets it early, so when you wake up, you're questioning your life. He says, breaking. This is the tweet. Breaking. Brandon Ayuk has officially requested a trade from the 49ers per confirmation from San Francisco source. My San Francisco source. Benjamin Albright and 49ers Sports Talk have also done some preliminary report on the story. As of Sunday morning, April 14th, the Steelers have been the most aggressive in pursuing a trade for Ayuk, with the Ravens also expressing interest. This is what he says. He says, my sources indicate there's a third a mystery team, guys, that is coming on strong for Ayuk, but they refuse to divulge any further information. Overall, wow, fireworks incoming. Are you serious? Like, listen to this tweet that I'm reading to you guys. This is absolute crazy. To someone actually running with this, when you have people on social media posting pictures, reports, templates with breaking news, 49ers Ayuk has requested a trade. When you got people going live on YouTube talking about they believe this is true, like read this. I'm gonna read it one more time and just listen to how outlandish this report sounds. Again, John Frascella, Legend Sports 7 on Twitter. He says, breaking. Brandon Ayuk has officially requested a trade from the 49ers per confirmation from my San Francisco source. His San Francisco source. He must have other sources from other teams. Says Benjamin Albright and 49ers Sports Talk have also done preliminary reporting on the story. Oh, Benjamin Albright and 49ers Sports Talk? It must be true. As of Sunday morning, April 14th, the Steelers have been the most aggressive in pursuing a trade for Ayuk. Okay, it's smart to use the Steelers because of the Mike Tomlin reference, right? Okay, with the Ravens also expressing interest. Oh, my sources indicate there's a third mystery team. Oh, keep the audience guessing, right? That is coming on strong for Ayuk, but they refuse to divulge any further information. The source won't tell them everything, but he told them the most important thing. Overall, fireworks. That was the tweet. This is literally a tweet. If you read this tweet and you believe Brendan Ayuk's getting traded, you need to check your mind, man. It is crazy. Um, And then somebody else on top of that quote tweeted this. Ryan Williams, he tweeted, says, "You need better sources, right? You need better sources." And it just went viral, super viral, blah, 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 blah. And then that's when Mike Garofalo and everybody else started tweeting this and started posting this. And Mike Garofalo was the first one to say that Brandon Ayuk's agent denies his client has requested a trade from the 49ers. Boom, bam, signed, sealed, delivered in the nick of time. There you go, folks. So that's it. That's the news this morning. Basically, someone created a false report, a false narrative. People trying to get engagement and clicks. I'm sure that Brandon Ayuk's tactic next will be to request a trade. That's part of this whole process with the trade. Scenario, and that's all with the way that the social media movement works, the way that Debo Samuel did it. If you're following the tea leaves, if you're following how Debo's contract went, then yeah, absolutely, it probably will happen in a matter of a couple weeks where Brandon Ayuk does request a trade. I'm not saying that it wouldn't. I'm not saying that it even will. I don't even know if he will or won't. But it's logical to think the next step in this process is yeah, Brandon Ayuk's agent or somebody or Brandon Ayuk himself is going to request trade. Like if they reach a point where their contract negotiations hit like a stalemate, okay, I'm going to request a trade. Let me see my options. That's all part of the tactic. So again, Brandon Ayuk could still get traded. It does not mean he won't, right? The 49ers, John Lynch, their GM, although he wasn't there yesterday in the building, because again, he's working on scouting. Several weeks ago, when he addressed the media, he did say they want to keep Brandon Ayuk, and he's said it multiple times. And Kyle Shanahan said it. They really want it to get done, right? Ayuk has implied that he deserves to get paid as a top receiver. So maybe he is hinting that he is a little frustrated and he wants to get paid at a certain point. But again, Brandon Ayuk and John Lynch really haven't had a lot of discourse yet. They haven't had a lot of discussion on that contract. It's just in the early stage, preliminary stages. Like that's the thing. Like Brandon Ayuk, maybe he is frustrated. Maybe he does feel a certain way. But at the same time, it's not like they've sat there and spent every waking hour, you know, putting pen to paper, trying to negotiate something. It takes time, right? Brandon Ayuk's training, he's getting his body right. And then John Lynch, he's worried about scouting. This is the first year with Adam Peters, so I'm sure John Lynch maybe taking even a bigger approach. That's my take on it. So you got to realize they haven't actually sat down and really went into big, deep contract negotiation moments. I'm sure they will, but yeah, at this point, it's anything's on the table. They haven't sat there and discussed anything. You still have Justin Jefferson on the market. You still have C.D. Lamb on the market. Those two guys' contracts are going to be massive, and they could probably shape what Brandon Ayuk's contract's going to look like. So there's still so much. It's only April, right? There's still a lot of time for all this to kind of play out. So I'm not too worried. But again, John Lynch has said he wants to get paid. He wants to pay Brandon Ayuk and keep him here long term. And Ayuk, his point is, I need to get paid what I deserve and what I feel is right. So that's all negotiation, and that'll come down later down the line. So my man Cosmo says, Raj, the man, appreciate you. Dead says it's an endorphin high. Dead also says the 49ers 247 page is a joke. Now he's backtracking on Twitter. I know the guy, whatever we've talked, but he does. He comes out every day and he makes some report. And sometimes he hits it, sometimes he not. You can't be living like that because when you make a report and you stand on business on it and you sit there and you're like, yeah, man, this is happening, breaking news, Niners are doing this, dot, 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 and then it goes south, you're going to look bad. You got to back, like, don't, man. If you have sources, it's hard to get credibility in this world, especially if your source is wrong. You know what I mean? Or if you don't have source and you make it up because you're taking a stab at the dark. Again, it's just social media, man. It's ruined the game for so many people. I've talked about that the other day, how social media has just changed the game. Social sports media, it's evolved. Sports media has evolved. Like 10, 20, 30 years ago, when I used to watch sports, you watch the game, you watch Sports Center. You go to work the next day, you go to school the next day, and you chat it up with your buddies, at the water cooler. Like, oh my God, you watch that? Da, 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 da. What do you think? But it evolved because people would go to school, go to work, and they'd have those conversations like, I can make a living talking like this every day. and it just evolved, and social media took its form with the internet, and you know Facebook, MySpace, Twitter came out, all these different outlets, all these different social media outlets that people could talk and talk, blog spheres, you right, Bleacher Report, and all this stuff, so you can start showing your comments, and now people can become content creators. You can get videos, and you're good at the camera, and it's just changed how things. So we follow every waking moment. It's like reality TV show, right? When reality TV show came to the world back in the early 2000s. Like it changed the game for TV. Like, oh my God, you can follow someone what they do every single moment. Let's go and put a camera in front of people and have them do these outlandish things, right? Like Big Brother, we'll put a camera in their house and follow them all summer, right? And see how they interact with people. That's how it is. Once the internet came, once all these different outlets of media came, it's changed everything we've done in society, and sports is no different. So it's definitely changed the landscape of how we perceive information, because I can tweet right now, literally, I could tweet right now. I have a big enough audience. Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade per source. I could tweet it. Will people believe me? Some people will. Some people won't. They'll question reality until I get disputed, and then have to backtrack. Oh, sorry, my source was wrong. You know what I mean? I've actually had sources. I do have sources, but at the same time, I respect them, and I don't say things I know because out of respect of my source. Because if I sit there and leak all this information that I have, received, guess what? They're not going to give me information anymore. So I like to get the information I know, and keep it to myself. So that's my take on that. So, oh man, Debbie says I'm old enough to remember reading the sports section of the newspaper. Wow, I used to love doing that. I used to sit there, pull up the sports section, look at the standings, look at the oh man, we're 2 games back. I used to do that. I used to love the sports. I used to read the columns. Every time I go to uh, the car dealership, whenever I have to go get work on my car or like my oil change, or because they get free oil changes there. So I go, I'll chill, I'll sit back, and I do. I get the newspaper and I pull up the sports section. Now I'm just sitting there reading while I wait. It reminds me of the old days, because you're right. You don't even read the sports section anymore in the newspaper. You pull up your phone. I could go right now. I just go on Twitter and I could read about everything. What do I want? ESPN. I could go to Sports Center, read it all right now. If I want to know about the 49ers, let me type in our SF 49ers. That guy knows a lot about sports, about 49ers. Oh, look. Boom. Right. The update. Brandon Ayuk's agent denies his client has requested a trade for the 49ers. Right now, at the tip of my hands. I don't have to wait for a newspaper. None of that. It's right there. Easy. Not even a paragraph of words, and I understand what's going on. Okay. Yesterday, John Lynch and offensive line coach Chris Forster are in Seattle, Washington, and reportedly stayed after practice to work out offensive tackle Roger Rosengarten. Look, breaking news at the tip of my fingerprints. I found out 2 stories in the matter of 20 seconds about the 49ers. Changes the game. Changes the game. My man Cosmo says, I don't think the 49ers are worried about BA tactics, part of contract negotiations. Yeah, I think because the 49ers have done this so many times with with this regime, with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And the one thing John Lynch said a few weeks ago is we have a good track record. And they do. They really do have a good track record in keeping their players. So I'm not worried either, Cosmo. I think it's okay that this is all happening. It's part of the plan. See, Clark says BA deserved 10 plus targets a game. Trade him. Can't get to that there. I mean, he definitely deserves a lot of targets, and I think that's something that he needs to address in his negotiations. When he's working on his contract, he needs to be more aggressive and say, hey, look, Kyle, look, John, I want this much money. And in order to deserve that money, maybe I need to have um, more touches, more targets, whatever. He needs to tell them and say, "Look, give me the ball. If I'm getting paid this much, I want to show I'm the man." So it goes both ways. It's a negotiation for Ayuk to say, "Give me the damn ball." If you're a wide receiver, you need to say, "Throw me the damn ball." Remember, was it Meeshawn Johnson? We used to say, "Throw me the ball. Throw me the damn ball." That's the wide receiver's mentality. If you're a wide receiver, you want the ball in your hands. You want to be the star, the alpha guy. So that's Ayuk needs to say, "Give me the ball." You know. But at the same time, Cody and Tina Bannister make a good point. He says he ain't getting that many targets in this offense with all the talent, and that's the other part is the Niners say, "Look, you got 1,300 yards on the targets we gave you. You're fantastic. You're very important for us. And that's the thing is Brandon Ayuk is very efficient, right? I remember he had I remember the stat we had posted, right? It was 31st in targets or something, but he was seventh in receiving yards. Like he was crushing it. He was number one in yards per catch all the way until the last game of the season. He ended up number two in yards per catch, like 17.2 yards per catch. That's a lot of yards. Every time you throw it to Ayuk, you get in 17 yards at least. That's fantastic. So he's very efficient. He stretches the field. He's a big time player for the 49ers. So they know it. But at the same time, you do need those players around him. You want good play. What do you want? One player? If he's your only good player on the team on offense, they're going to triple team him, and then he's not going to get those yards. So at the same time, yes, he did a great job. Yes, he was very efficient. But at the same time, you take away CMC, you take away Debo, you take away Kittle. Is he still putting up those stats on this team? It's hard to say. When you're a one man gang, it's not always easy to put up and replicate those numbers, right? So good player, but there's a lot to be talked about at the surface of negotiations. And all those things are going to come up, his efficiency. But then the 49ers say, hey, wait, man, you're still the fourth option. Could you be the top guy on another team? If you were getting 15 targets a game and you were the only star on a team, what would your stats look like? Would double team you? Can you still put up the same numbers? So it goes again, it's a business. Business is a cruel world. And then you got sports media, stirring the pot and everything. Sports media is stirring the pot and everything. So it's fun business though. um, Cody says Ayuk knows though he's a team guy. He's not. He knows he's not going to get the ball every time and blocks for others. That's another point. Yeah, you guys are making some good points today. And Brandon Ayuk also knows that he does a lot more than just catch the ball. He does fantastic job of blocking. I remember that game against the Steelers. Right, he also had two touchdowns in that game, but the block he had to seal open the CMC 65-yard touchdown. I mean, that was Brandon Ayuk just stunned. He stunned on his blocking. He stunned it on the blocking. It was crazy. Boom, gashing hole. CMC just runs through it. And there was many other games where Brandon Ayuk's blocking was just fantastic, right? So absolutely, man, he's a great player. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he loves this team. He loves the Niners. The Niners love him. Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. The chemistry is there. They're going to continue to develop and build this bond. It's just this posturing, it's leverage season, it's the off season. People get upset because again, those reports that we had talked about, they come out and it makes the player look bad. And then you get all this like social media scrubbing. It's just part of it. You got to. It's unfortunate that he does it because it's just kind of the lay of the land. You have to do it, and I'm pretty I wouldn't say I'm guaranteeing, but I'm pretty sure that Debo probably had a conversation with them, and Brandon Ayuk probably said, "What should I do next? Should I do this? Should I scrub my media? Should I unfollow?" Like I'm sure they've had those conversations at the end of the day, right? It's only natural. Debo went through this, and he's a veteran. He's a mentor. He probably has helped Ayuk go along the course, and he probably said, "Hey, look, you're probably not going to like this. You're probably going to have to unfollow him. Play the game and." After that, it'll all come full circle. It's like my man Jean Paul Levesque said, my man Triple H. It's all about the game and how you play it. It literally is all about the game, ladies and gentlemen, and how you play it. That's it. It's all about the game. It's all a game. It's a business, and business. There's a lot of tactics, and you look at your job, right? If you've ever had to negotiate a contract or negotiate a pay raise or whatever, you play a lot of games, right? You say, hey, look, well, I'm looking at another company. You start telling them that stuff, whether it's true or not. That's your trade request. That's requesting a trade is looking at other job offers. You're on Indeed.com. You got your resume floating on, the internet for people to look at. LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn. You updated your LinkedIn bio. Oh shit! Roger just updated his LinkedIn bio. Your boss is like, "Yo, come in my office right now." So it's all negotiation tactics. Um, it's gonna be fun though. I think when it's all said and done, Brandon Ayuk will get extended for the 49ers, and we're all gonna be happy. Yeah, the big thing is what's the money? What is the money? Right? What is the money? We don't know yet. Like there's been reports 23 million, 24 million a year, 25 million a year. Some people say 30 million a year. That's Justin Jefferson money. I don't think it's gonna be um 30 million a year, but um we'll see. We'll see. That's the big contract. And to me, it's guaranteed money, right? guaranteed money. So we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out. But for now, again, just to do a little mini recap, for those that have been watching Brandon Ayuk, there was trade rumors this morning, fireworks. Oh my God! And the report was silly, right? We'll tell you again. John Frischella says Brandon Ayuk has officially requested a trade for the 49ers per confirmation from my San Francisco sources. Blah 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 blah. It kind of broke the internet this morning because it was tweeted at 5:40 in the morning. Of course, everybody woke up and all the sports pages ran with it because it's Sunday and it's the off season and there's literally nothing to post about. So yeah, we're gonna post about this and get some engagement. And then his agent, Brandon Ayuk's agent, confirmed this to be false. Shut it down with the quickness. And here we are talking about how silly social media is. And that is where we stand. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great Sunday. Enjoy the day. It's a nice day for some. It's my daughter, it's her last day of spring break. So hopefully we can do something good. You know, a lot of kids have been on spring break. If it is your spring break, enjoy it. Make the most of it because you go and you get your ass back to school tomorrow. For those that just have the day off, enjoy it. Take some time, do something. Or if you need to rest because you work a lot, enjoy the rest. Whatever you got to do, enjoy the day. Have a blessed Sunday. What else? What else? What else? It's pretty much all I wanted to tell you guys. Yeah, we'll see what happens with all this smoke screen and smoke and mirrors. And again, you got to remember, it's smoke season. It's smoke season. Take things with a grain of salt. So it's gonna be dramatic. And also, I got a week until my birthday. Officially, a week before. No, sorry, no, 2 weeks. I don't even know anymore. What's today? What day is today? Today's the 14th. Yeah, a week before my birthday. It is a week before my birthday. It's Sunday, the 14th of April. One more week, and your boy has a birthday. That's crazy. I'm getting so old, I don't even remember when my birthday is. That's why I was like, 2 weeks, 1 week? Yeah, a week until my birthday. Smoke season. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I love you. Bang, bang. Nana gang.